How's everybody doing today? It's your boy, Pam. Flex on them. Hey. Okay. I've had a lot going on this morning, to be honest. Lots going on. Whoops. Those don't go there. Lots going on this morning, guys. Interesting morning for Gym Rat Crypto. I've been talking to some of my friends in the background, producer Bullish, Sam Stolt, having a really good conversation. As we get older as men, me, mostly talking to myself here. As I get older as a man, and other men too, the one cool thing about communication and trust is it's not an age thing. It's never an age thing. Like, I know 19 and 20-year-olds that can communicate so well. And I know 75-year-olds that still, every day until they died, they acted the exact same way, stubborn. And I have a little of that in me, and I hope that I can show everyone that it's important to be open-minded. I think I'm right about just about everything. And I know I'm not. Okay. I know I'm not, but I also know my personality. Like, I know, so I have to bounce off Sam. I have to bounce off Bullish. I say, I know I have blind spots. Please keep me aware. Keep in them too, right? Like there's things that are blatantly obvious about this show that Bullish would probably think would be a little different, but he lets me learn because I have to, right? And it's the same. You got to be open-minded. You got to realize no one's 100% right or wrong, but you have to be honest. If you're not honest, if you can't trust people, and that's a big ethos within the community of crypto, is like, don't trust anyone. And I just look at those people and I laugh and I'm like, have fun in your cave by yourself, not trusting anyone with $1 billion. You'll end up great. Think about what you're saying. This is a human life experience that we're in right now. This is not a digital money thing. Yes, we need resources, but start taking your lives more seriously. Like your lives, your relationships, the way you think, the way you feel. Figure out what you would actually like, not what the world wanted you to be. Like, I want to know what my most optimal place is when I'm feeling the most at peace and the most, in sync with everything. Call it God, call it whatever you want. All right, guys, I got a little deep this morning. Come on, baby. I could do this all day long. I'm a natural. Okay, guys. This is Crypto in the Morning, the best, most comprehensive, most consistent crypto show in the world, and it will continue to be moving forward. And I never wrote that down, and I think I nailed that exactly like I said it yesterday. So, guys, oh my God, I forgot to mention, Sam. I met RG, Crypto Stylist, and David James yesterday in DC. RG treated us to lunch. It was amazing seeing those guys. We were at a beautiful Tyson's Corner mall thing. Like, I had no business being there, but you know what I mean? So much fun. They're real people, guys. They're just real people. Like, that's it. Like, they're just like you and me. They wake up, they have issues, insecurities, normal things going on. They have money. It's just, they're people. We're all just people. Remember this, because in this bear market, 7 straight weeks of S&P 500 candles to the red side, guys, haven't happened since over a decade. We're talking about recession that could change the history of the economic world forever. The trajectory, guys, it's getting really serious in here. I am trying to step up this show to the next level. If you thought we were next leveling this show, wait until you see what me and Sam are doing. We're actually getting along in the background. We're organizing things. We're putting our gym rat senses aside, and we're trying to be normal people for 5 fucking seconds. And we are trying to get organized so we can give you guys the best show possible moving forward. Okay? Seriously. There's nothing we want more than this show to be as valuable for everyone else, because that's the goal, right? It's the goal. Like, that's what we're doing. Guys, 2 minutes, 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Young folks, you tripping on them motherfucker.
Richard Heart. Richard Heart.
Bought my hex from the fucking start.
0.1 every day we mark. Buy my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Buy my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the hex, he's mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pull chains out and they'll get me a check. He's gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Buy my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Buy my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Getting this back like a year ago.
Wow.
What's up, man? Sounds like you had an awesome day yesterday. Sounds like you had a good day.
It wasn't even awesome. It was like stressful, to be honest, but it was like productively stressful, if that makes sense.
We've got some cool stuff to cover. I've been very, very busy. I've been covering a lot of different stuff. We're gonna cover the historical change in users of crypto. We're gonna also talk about some new research out by this company called GWI, who just does market research. They're in like 47 different countries.
And I want to talk about how that occurs too. The market research a little bit.
Yes. We're also gonna get into some interesting things that I personally am doing. Hopefully, it's valuable. I did a 50 minute long video covering the details in a ridiculous amount of detail on how you could put solar on your house using crypto for free. We're going to get into some of those details, not nearly what we went into the other day. I'll give you the link on there. So
we're also going to be getting into stablecoin research and a couple other things, guys. Just stick with us, guys. We are going to get into it. But first, it's Saturday. I got comments from people I haven't seen yet. So we got to get to it. Because yes, guys, I'm trying to get this show right. I really love crypto in the morning, and I really love what we have here. And it's not about money. It's about doing things properly and being the best person that I can be in what the role that I'm in. And I know everything works out when you do that, right? Okay. So Monica Mofit Meals, Jim Rat Crypto. Good morning, Monica Mofit Meals. I failed you this week. I didn't do the paperwork properly and I didn't finish everything, but I'll DM you and I love you so much. Illuminati, great name. Our excellence as always, an absolute stud, alpha male. Hex on air. Great to see you in here. I don't know if I've seen Hex on air in here. Really awesome. I stubbed my crypto. Great to see you. T-Bird. Always blind spots. Always when you think there's no more red pills, there's always, and ask anyone who knows me. I'm always ready for more.
It's that belief. If you think I'll be like, I'm good, then that's where that is the red pill that need to like break.
And it happens to all of us. It happens, period. It happens. It has to happen. It like my brain does it all the time. My mom will be telling me something about something that she's totally right about. But I'm like, nope, I'm smarter than everyone. So fuck it. Because I get territorial because it's like, but just remember, you always look at someone's life experience and you just they know more than you in some ways, in some things. Please use people for what they're good at. There's only certain things I'm good at. I'll never tell people I'm good at other things because it's just not the case. And I'm just going to double down on this. Anyway, let's keep going. Met RG last night. What a pleasure. This guy's an absolutely nice guy. Thank you so much for lunch. It was great to see you. Next time we'll spend more time together. Jim Rat left the house. Oh, proven. Stult. All right.
RG.
And you know,
Hey, there's
HexyCat, real quick. HexyCat RG, Mixed Crypto Arts. That's a new name in here. Great to see you in here, Mixed Crypto Arts. Hex on Air, Crypto Class. Great to see you in here as always. Illuminati, Obama Moore.
hello from over in Thailand too. Hex Pulse,
Hex
right
Pulse
here.
D.
Yeah, they're over in Thailand. So what's good? Awesome. They're catching us on the other side of the world. That's awesome.
Yep, and then we had
Cool.
David James and Crypto Stylist obviously there yesterday. They're not in the chat at this moment, but there we go. We'll literally bring you coffee today. Thank you so much. Yes, bring me some coffee today.
If she's going to be in town, she can come on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, if you get your butt over here right now and leave, you can come at the end of the show, and then we can go hang out. So yeah, let's get to the show, guys. I'm sorry if I missed you. Great to see you in here, Stylist. Hello from Switzerland. Awesome work you do. Golly, guys, all this love from it's never the viewer count that I like to see. It's random chats from different people because then I know other people are watching and it makes me happy.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it, guys. I'm done clicking on comments. Stop clicking on comments.
Dude, that's cool that you got to meet some more people in the community. Is this the first time that you've met people in physical form, bro? Nice. That's awesome. I saw your picture on Instagram. If you guys are not following us on Instagram, Bullish will leave the links in the comments, but you should jump over to Instagram. We talk a lot over there or post a lot over there as well. So especially if you like the picture or the video in terms of the stories or the actual Instagram feed, link will be down below if you want to check that out. I've been super busy. I know I wasn't here yesterday, but I found this piece of data that I wanted to share with you because we talk about the adoption rate in crypto and how things are progressing forward, and the pace at which we're progressing forward is actually accelerating. We've talked about the adoption curve many, many times, but in essence, we understand that we are at the point in crypto right now that is going to accelerate even faster. And when I found this data, this highlights my point even better. This is from Statica. They aggregate different types of data. And what this is the number of identified, verified crypto asset users from 2016 to 2021. Check this out, bro. So we have 5 million in 2016, so in
2016, let's give everyone a little snapshot. 2016, that was 8 years ago. I was 20 years old. There was 5 million users cryptocurrency, period. Think about that, guys. And that was not that long ago, guys. Oh my God, that was not that long ago. We were still up. Tech was still crazy. Like people, oh my God. So I'll give you that snapshot. Now let's move to today. It's not that different. It hasn't changed that much, but it's still a big difference. But like comparatively
to the world,
to the people in the world that need financial assistance, everyone.
and
it's crazy. It hurts me in the head.
So this is a 5-year period of time, right? From 2016 to 2021. That there's about a 45x increase in a 5-year period of time. And remember, like as you mentioned, 5 million people globally in crypto. It is so trivial. Like there's more customers in Walmart's parking lot on a monthly basis than there was users in crypto. Right?
Well, like, think of a good one. This is always a good comparison that people don't think of. How, Fortnite? You heard of Fortnite?
Yeah.
It's a video game. Everyone plays it. Okay. I played it maybe a little bit back in the day. Fortnite users. Let's look up. I'm just looking up. I'm not going to pull it up. I'm just going to 350 million users since its release in 2017. So that's probably transactions. That's 350 million transactions. And that's a stupid little game. So you guys are silly. Everyone is silly. I hate everyone. I hate myself. Life makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense anymore, Sam. Think about this really quick. Fortnite. And I just pulled this up off the top of my head. 350 million, and that was in 2020. That was 3 years back. I'm going to look up the updated, but it's
But
probably a billion.
think that's used. I think you mentioned
But
it was
why are they
users.
so much better? Why are Fortnite people so much better? Why can't they work for crypto? Get those people to work for crypto. They clearly know what the fuck they're doing because they can brainwash the entire world to do whatever they want. Because Fortnite is a game.
Yes.
It's for
Yes. Yes.
it's a game.
But we can bring that in here. So think about just the numbers here for a second. Completely agree that we should be growing a lot faster in crypto. I completely agree with that. So if we have a 45x increase in 5 years, we understand that this is going to increase in growth rate. But if you want to be conservative, right? Say if you want to be like, well, we don't know. I'm still one of those people who don't believe crypto is going to be around in the future. Crypto is a technology and technologies can fail and all this. Say you're one of those people. And so instead of a 45x increase, let's cut that down. Let's cut that down to 22.5x, right? So if you take over the next 5 years, and we assume the growth rate is going to decrease. And if you look at literally any adoption curve in technology, it increases, it doesn't decrease, right? So if you look at history, it doesn't slow down, it actually speeds up. But 22.5x times 221 million, that means by 2027, we're at 5 billion users in crypto. This is astonishing. The growth over the next 5 years is going to absolutely blow people's minds. And this data is from 2021.
Don't we have to look at some sort of aggregate to the analytics to people that have internet access?
That is definitely a good metric to take a look at, which I actually was able to
If
find.
we're talking through it, just because that was the first thing that popped into my mind. Because once you're getting so close to the number of people in the world, then you start having to look at some technicals, right? Just a couple, but I mean, almost every, we know. Homeless people have cell phones. Period.
Right.
End of story.
So on according to Google, this is from Data Reportal. A total of 5 billion people around the world use the internet today, equivalent to 63% of the world's total population. Internet users continue to grow. The latest data indicating the world's connected, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's growing. It grew by almost 200 million people in 2022. So remember how we looked at the chart for the number of users in the middle of 2021, it was 220. The number of new users on the internet in 2022 is estimated to be over 200 million. So check this out. This is some data from, this comes from this report, GWI. They're a research company for market analysis. Mm-hmm. And this chart is pretty dope. Ownership of cryptocurrency. The percentage of internet users age 16 to 64.
This is what I was looking for, yes.
It's so weird. It was almost like you it was like you read my mind there. It was so weird how
it's one of the only things though. You have to think about it.
Yeah. And so this is if we figure there's 5 billion, right? According to Google, there's around 5 billion users on the internet and there's 8 billion people, right? Mm-hmm. So there's 5/8 of the world population who owns crypto. What do you think? How many users do you think will be on the internet in the next 5 years?
Well, now we got to start looking at population rate. So let's pop over to population rate real quick, because we know that's a variable number that's changing actually as society moves in a certain way. Hey, look what I just noticed down at the bottom left. Shield Masters code GRC50 for 50% off. I didn't know that was added there. I want to see that again. Can you pop it back up? Where'd it go? No, I liked it. I liked it. I wanted to go back.
I missed it. It's coming up, but there's a link down below if you guys are interested. Shield Masters.
Put it on the banner. Why is it gone now? That's like okay, whatever.
There it is.
I lost it. Never
there
mind.
It is.
I don't see it.
It should be coming up on the bottom there. Shield Masters, scrolling across the bottom. Shieldmasters.com.
No, that's not what I was looking at. I was looking at, it was at the bottom, like,
50%
one of these options, but never mind. It was Bullish was playing with it probably.
Okay. So we have around 5 billion people who are on the internet. That number is growing every single year. 2022 estimates are that it's going to grow about 200 million, right? So in 5 years, there's another billion people. That puts us around 6 billion people, assuming the growth rate held for internet users that are getting online. And that would be within the realm of people and crypto in terms of those estimates. Now, this number here.
It's back. It's back. Look at it. Not the scrolling thing, but just the little emblem.
Ah, gotcha.
I like that, Bullish. Thank you.
Nice. So this is just the 5 billion people on the internet. Of the 5 billion people, hey, there's no excuses for being late, man. But glad to see you.
Yes, that's sickening.
Show up on time next time. There's 10%, according to this, 10% of those 5 billion people who are on the internet. Who also own crypto. That's pretty high. That's a lot. And these numbers are going to continue to grow. Look at Thailand. They estimate 20% of people in Thailand who use the internet own some crypto.
Now?
This is as of 2022, January. This is 5-6 months ago. This is pretty crazy data, bro. Like we're going through this time.
What do you know about population? Do you know any? Have you ever looked? I know, like it's a subject, but you would like the specifics between like the centralization or the westernization of the modern world, women not having children anymore in the Western world. Period. End of story. Because I date people and they don't have kids, and back in the day they used to all have kids. So, and I date 30. I'm not saying at this moment, but in general. 30, 31, 35. And they say many times, I'm not having kids. And I didn't hear of this when I was a young man. Like really young, like 10 or 12.
There's people like Bill Gates who is trying to basically slow down the birth rate or the growth rate of the population in the world. So you
think that, hold on one second. I know where you're getting at, and I've done all this. I saw this too, but just as a person.
But to contrast that on the other side,
yeah,
there's also very, very smart, intelligent people like Elon Musk and Jordan Peterson is the other person that comes to mind, who believe that is the risk. So you have people like Bill Gates who like want to reduce how quickly the population of humans is growing. And then you have people like Elon Musk and Jordan Peterson who believe that is the exponential risk. That is the risk to humankind, is that we're not growing fast enough.
Have you heard? That's what Richard says.
Well, that's what Elon Musk also says. So Richard he probably got it from Elon Musk.
There's many resources. They need to be used and they need to keep moving. And dude, it's weird though when you really think about the social implications of women not having kids like they used to. And I don't care what anyone says because it's just true. My mom had kids in the normal age, and I'm pretty sure she was in her early 20s. You just don't see people in their early 20s with children anymore, period. Why? Because everyone has these lives that are very flexible and easy now. And it's annoying to have a kid, for sure. I mean, come on.
But I bet with Bullish in the background, I bet that Bullish probably thought it would be annoying. And then and I don't know, I haven't asked him this question. And Bullish, if you want to jump on and talk in a second, I bet after Bullish had his first kid or kids that he was like, holy shit, this is actually a superpower. It is the best thing that's ever happened to me, even though it might have been a struggle. Bullish, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I essentially, I have two kids. So I essentially learned with my first kid, and anyone who tells you that, you're ready for it, that's bullshit. No matter what, when you have your first child, you're not ready for it. It's a learning process. So, but once you get through it and once you realize essentially the impact you have over another human being, is like, you start to change the way you look at things, the way you approach things. And, and to that point, like, my son is like building like Minecraft servers and playing Minecraft at like 4 years old, like
that's dope.
But it ended up.
You really have a kid at 14, Matthew? That's crazy. Wow. Karen, annoying to have a kid? Come on.
Oh yeah, that part too.
When I said annoying, I meant like more overhead.
Well, yeah, because
That's what I meant. You guys know me. It's
Yeah,
never about the passion. It's always about variable overhead for me personally.
yeah, and I've shared this before. Like, like I waited and we planned it out, for that specific reason. Like, no matter what anyone tells you, when you have kids, you're set back at least 5 years. Whatever your goals are, and you have kids, add another 5 years to it, because that's just the reality of it. So by the time my wife and I had kids, you know what I mean? Like, we were ready for that. We knew, okay, we accomplished all the stuff we wanted to accomplish as far as our careers and, our personal goals. Now it's time to start a family. You know what I mean? So, if you're able to plan that way, then absolutely do it, but do not be fooled. If you have kids, you're going to be set back 5 years no matter what.
Yeah, unless you have $1 billion. Okay.
Yeah, that's a different story.
yeah, that's GRC's plan. Okay, so we're going to move on from talking about geopolitical stuff, and we just got a lot of information about adoption, about crypto, about where things are headed, and in my opinion, my whole thesis statement about that whole thing is we're not doing a good enough job. Crypto's is doing a bull crap job, a literal half-ass, and most things do a half-ass job, to be fair, in this world. There's 3 or 4 companies that don't do a half-ass job, literally, and they dominate the world, by the way. So I think what RH is doing with being detail-oriented, I don't care what anyone says. The dude's detail-oriented, and he's got an ego, and he wants it to be right, okay? There's not enough of that, period, in crypto. I want people that want to do work that changes the world because it changes the world and enriches them at the same time, not just one or the other.
There's a bunch of different researchers who have created different models for how adoption works. And when you look at hey, I hope your surgery goes well. Hopefully don't snip too much. With the adoption,
snip your wiener off.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he actually wanted to. He wanted to turn into a girl.
What if they put you in the sex change room instead of the bisectomy room, and they just chop it?
You know how many people go into
you always got it. We're just talking risk here, risk protocol.
There's a lot of people who go in to say have some type of surgery, and they come out and they had a different type of surgery because of just human error.
Yeah, but we're just joking. Well, I mean, yes, but we're
not to scare you or anything, but it does happen every year.
But anyway, guys, real quick before we move on to stablecoin research, we're going to move into a little bit of stablecoin research. Sam's got some stuff he wants to talk about. You know me and stablecoins all day long, every day. I want to talk about it, period. I just can't help it. I can't help but think about stablecoin. It's DeFi, right, Sam? But it's not really that much DeFi because of stablecoins. Where can we change things, Sam? We can change things. It's possible, but it actually takes a full community, right?
So in that, before we jump into the stablecoin thing, so there's a bunch of researchers that have created models on adoption curves. And one of them, I think it's Rogers Evertson or something. He has something where you see that bell curve, right? Innovators, early adopters, late early majority, or something like that. And when I was reading through more of his work, you have the innovators, and those are the people who are taking the risks, right? They're the people who are okay with taking risks, but they're also okay with failing. That next group of people, the next group of people are the people who are bridging that gap, right? There's a big chasm, is the word that he uses, and I've used the words Grand Canyon, of a knowledge disparity between people in legacy, or people who are not in crypto, versus people who are in crypto. The vernacular, the words that people use in crypto, and the framework to understand things like blockchain, or doing transactions, or the privacy or the security around this. There's so much to learn around this that is the chasm, right? That's the researchers talk about. That's the chasm where it takes place in the time frame between the innovators and those early adopters, right it's in that space. There's not a specific time. It happens differently at every single adoption curve, but we're in that transition, right? Two guys who really like the gym and just other shit like that. And now we're into crypto, and we're able to bring in those next group of people into crypto because we're bridging that gap, that chasm that the researchers talk about, to bring those two worlds together so that the next wave of people who don't know anything about crypto can actually get into crypto, to understand the security behind it, understand how blockchain works, understand the different nuances of different lending protocols or stable coins or different layer ones, how these all tie together. How do you move your money around? What's a wallet? All of this stuff is so new to so many people that we need more people in here actually talking about it. That's why we see so many new channels, even just in the Hex, Pulse, and PulseX ecosystem on YouTube popping up, and that are gaining interest because they have a different point of view than people who go to the gym might think that we're interesting, right? But other people are like, oh man, these two guys are complete clowns. I don't want to listen to them, right? That's all they talk about. They bring the stuff up all the time. It's annoying the way that they articulate things. And maybe a female, right? Like a crypto stylist, she just started her YouTube channel. She connects with a different audience than we do. And then there's a guy, I forget his name, but we just did a video in the UK, and he has a different audience that he connects to. And RG3, he has a different audience that he connects to. And we're bringing more people in, which is going to close that gap. It takes time, but it's closing that gap. And when you look at the data,
attracts all the pirates.
you don't realize how quickly this gap is going to get closed between the 220 million people in crypto as of 2021, mid 2021, to where we're going. We're going to hit 1 billion users in crypto like that. And most people are going to be completely oblivious to it.
And what will crypto look like? That's the question, right? Like, what will be left in crypto at that moment? What's the right investment, right? Like, what is that's the hard part. Sorry, I was sharing that to my Instagram. Real quick, guys, we're 42 minutes in. Share this stream out. Me and Sam are going to keep talking here for 30 minutes or so, and share this out right now. You smash that like button right now. The best part about Saturdays, Sam, you get new faces, period. They're in here. I haven't seen a lot of these guys in here, and that makes me exactly where I want to be, happy as a clam, because I love seeing new people watch crypto in the morning, because if you get addicted to crypto in the morning, your life gets better, way better.
I love seeing the new faces though. There's a lot of new people in there.
Me too. I love that. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Are we going to pull up this article?
Yes. Do you want me to? When you go to the bathroom, I can actually talk about the solar thing.
Yeah,
and then,
go ahead.
Okay. So I'll do the solar thing. Will you guys do that, and then we'll get into it. So solar, right? You've probably been hearing about solar for 2 decades at this point, and there's still a large amount of people who don't have solar but still own property. And there's a giant opportunity here, especially when you combine legacy finance, solar, and crypto with business, right? You're putting all these pieces together. Oh my goodness. It is literally like the free airdrops that I claimed this morning for my Pulse Dogecoin, my free money. That is similar what is happening now with the solar thing. If you own a property and say you decided to put it into an LLC and then rent it to yourself, so you ran it as a business, you could actually go through and get solar batteries and a new roof and new HVAC, if you so choose to, on a loan that doesn't require you to put any money up on the loan at a subsidized interest rate. That means a low interest rate, lower than market, and not pay your bill for 12 plus months, and get money back and add value to your property. And you're able to switch your monthly payment from a expense, just paying the utility company. The value you're getting out of that is the electricity. Fantastic, right? Well, when you shift that payment, you're still paying a monthly bill right after the 12-month period of time, after you've got a check in your pocket for doing this. And I haven't even mentioned the taxes. You are adding value to your property, but that payment, the payment shifts from paying the utility company to paying yourself. There's equity pay down, right? So if you have a loan and you pay on your loan, and then Bullish is going to share this in the description. I did a very, very detailed video on all of this stuff. Thank you for pulling this up, Bullish. And he'll share it in the videos, in the description of the videos or in the comments in there, if you want to check it out. The ability for you to actually pay yourself instead of the utility company, first thing. Second thing is now you still have an interest expense that you can write off because it's a business. And third, you know how hacks, right? People who are watching this like hacks. They like the ability to capture future inflation in the system. So grasp your head around that, and then think of who captures the inflation in utility rates. What does that mean? Utility rates increase over time. They're a monopoly and they're regulated, and regulations generally allow them to raise rates by 2 to 6% a year. So if utility rates are going up by 3% a year, say they're 3.69% per year, right? Just hypothetically, weird number I just randomly came up with off the top of my head. But say utility rates go up by 3.69% per year. Who captures that inflation? The utility company does. So if you grasp the concept of hacks capturing future inflation by staking your shit, by putting solar on your house, you're able to capture future inflation of utility rates, right? On top of all the things that I just mentioned. And if you love the taxes and stuff, you should go watch the whole entire video. It's 50 minutes long. You can hit me up on Twitter. There's a link down below for Twitter. The tax consequences for putting solar in your property. I've been talking about this about Bullish. I get excited because I'm so pumped about this. It's literally free money. You could put $100,000 system on your house, or say you're like, that's ridiculously expensive, right? But say if it was your roof and solar and batteries and HVAC, right? Just for math purposes, you're able to actually reduce your taxes. But if you're in a 30% tax bracket, by something above north of $50,000. So say you're a couple that's earning $200,000 a year, and you're paying $50,000, 25% in federal taxes. Well, if your business, right, is flowing together and you're filing jointly, then would it be nice to get that $50,000 or $4,000 extra a month that you don't have to pay in taxes? And that does not even include the interest that you're writing off on your loan. So if you want to check that video out, it's down below. Appreciate you guys. That was really good. That was perfect. That was perfect timing. Get a little, and then come on back after you're done with your little bathroom break. Yeah, dude,
you call it a potty break in the industry.
The solar thing is literally like free pulse doge.
I'd love to do this. So I have a couple things that are good. I have a effed up roof that was planning on redoing myself, which would have been 4 days of work, roughly. And it would be about $4,000 to do it myself. Be about $12,000 to do it. Well, probably more like 20.
Is this for the solar at your house?
No, it's just for the roof. So
okay.
The fact that would be $12,000 that I had to pay anyway, or $3,000 in 4 days of man labor.
So with this package, right? Because of the way the rules work, somebody else, Hex can tattooer says that they need a new roof. So if you run things like a business, so for me, I try to capture everything as a business. Everything I do, I try to figure out how to make it into a business, because then you get a 30% discount because I'm writing it off. Well, with a roof, you have to depreciate that on a residential property over 27 and a half years, which means that like the tax benefits today are small. Because you're able to put it into the solar, wrap it all into one program, and the rules are set up that you can actually take the entire cost as an expense in year one. This is instead of taking say your roof costs you 15 grand. And if you have to do that over 27 and a half years, you basically get to have a $500 expense. If it's a business, a $500 expense to reduce your taxable income, which is pretty trivial, versus just taking that whole $15,000 against your taxable income to reduce your taxes in year one. And you could do this with HVAC, hot water tank if you need these as well, potentially even a couple windows.
Dude, okay, so I need your help with this too. So I have to pay $7,500 for a new AC unit this year, unless I figure out another way to do it, which I might. But this
what's your utility? What's your electric bill roughly?
300.
300. Okay, mine too. Okay, this is gonna be absolutely perfect for you. Potentially, right? Like I'm in Florida and you're in a different state. So the up there could be slightly different, but most of the stuff I'm talking about is at like a federal level. So
people do that all the time around here. So I would think it would probably be, I see it a lot. I also have a really old house, so I'd have to look into like some of that.
But you could put HVAC on your house.
Oh, that would be incredible.
A roof, solar.
And they'll do it for free.
Batteries. And a subsidized loan.
Why would they do this for free?
Bro, because the government loves giving away free taxpayer dollars.
Yes. Thank you, government. We're just figuring out how to use it.
Dude, I forgot to mention, there's something down here in Florida called net metering. What does that mean? That means that if I use this much electricity on a monthly basis, and my system uses I generate this much electricity, this extra bit, they have to purchase back from me at retail rates, which is very positive for like me. Not every state does that. Other states make you buy it back at the wholesale rate.
T-Bird's a freaking gorilla, dude. AC uses the most energy. I have no AC and I live in the tropics. I don't need it.
T-Bird, man, why don't you just make some more money?
He doesn't. He's off the grid.
Oh, dope.
Dude, he's off the grid. Like if you think someone's off the grid, they'll never find him. That's what it sounds like, at least. Like where I'm from, like that dude's off the grid. So let's move on to crypto. That was incredible. If you want to know more about that, go to Sam's video. End of story. He did a 50-minute detailed video on it. Please watch Sam's videos, because attached to this show is kind of like Sam does videos on all sorts of things. So attached to this show is like a place for Sam to express his ideas in real time too, because that's always a good subject, because whatever he's talking about is cool.
I have a thing that I'll just bring up right now, and I'd like to hear you guys in the comments thoughts on this. So I haven't picked the topic for tomorrow's video yet, and I'm toying with Helgo or Cult. Have you heard that Cult DAO thing that's out there? What do you have a preference? Would you be curious?
I think the Cult one would be more popular for the YouTube algo.
But I'm going to bring whatever I learn on the show tomorrow. So which would
you're going to get me in trouble, boy.
Helgo, right? You wanted to learn about Helgo. That's thing that
Helgo's more show appropriate. Cult's more YouTube appropriate for explosive gains. But like at the end of the day, for your audience, Helgo would probably be more helpful.
So I think tomorrow.
But I don't know much about Cult. I just hear about it. So I couldn't tell you. But I know
what I would say is, as far as the information I know, and then you can take it from there. I know there's a proposal on Cult to buy Pulse, and that's already out. Yeah, they're buying Pulse. So there's a proposal they already got approved where they're going to be buying, I forgot how much Ethereum worth for Pulse. So there's that aspect to keep in mind. And then Helgo's just not out yet. So, you know what I mean? So,
okay. All right, well, can somebody pull up a front page for me or something, Sam? Can I at least get an eye on?
I will. What I will do is I will tomorrow morning before we get on the show. Oh, look at Test Your Levels is here.
Oh, dude. Great to see you, bro. Dude, I had so much fun on Thursday night, dude. I haven't had fun like that in a minute because I'm always talking crypto, and you know how it goes when you're working. But like, Oh my god, dude, that was so much fun. I
You
didn't
guys,
care. 0 people was watching. I love that.
if you guys enjoy like testosterone, as in learning about it from a health perspective to optimize your hormones, not necessarily as much in terms of super physiological levels or bodybuilding quite as much, but from a health standpoint and utilizing it and other supplements and like that, check out my buddy Test Your Levels channel. Lots and lots of really good information.
Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow my intention is I will get into Cult and read through their white paper and get a better idea of them, and I'll bring that onto the show tomorrow.
Coin. I think it's a meme coin.
I think
we have to get into the meme coins because it's part of it. I agree. Like the more I learn about meme coins, the more I'm like, well, me and Sam have to research meme coins because there's $900,000 in active liquidity, so I'm probably going to cover it. Like.
Yeah, they're technically, I'm gonna start using the word altcoin, but yeah, they're all altcoin, technically, and like I said, they're already out, so there's a lot more data that you can look at, and create a video around. It
seems like, Sam, from what I hear Bullish saying, you kind of have to choose Colt because it sounds like Helga is not really out yet.
Correct. Okay, cool. Well, tomorrow morning, if you guys want to learn more about Cult and how it plays into Pulse and any nuances related to that, you guys should come on.
Hey, I just work here, guys. I just work here. I don't know much about Cult. I don't know shit about it, guys. We're in a bear market. It's best for us to be talking about some stuff. Trust in me. I'm a marketer, baby. I know what we should, but talking about stuff when it's sensitive, not always the best. So once Hex starts moving in the direction and Pulse, you know what I'll be covering. But guys, this is crypto, period. I got to cover all of this stuff because I'm learning, and there's serious dollar bills in this stuff.
But also from a more important standpoint, we were talking about marketing earlier. Talking about marketing, if we just focus on ourselves in this community, how are we pulling in other communities? So I did a test on this. On Twitter. So I'm growing my Twitter account. You guys can check the link down below if you want to help support over there. I'm active there daily. Also, Torin said he would help with solar. If you have thoughts on that, Torin, reach out to me on Twitter. I would love to learn more. But I did a test on this, GRC. So I am generally very active in, say, Pulse Hex, Pulse X, right? Community on Twitter. And I'm growing my account. And then what I did is I started going into Dogecoin, XRP, Solana, and ADA, which is Cardano. And I started getting into these 4 other communities. And I think I did SHIB for a very, very teeny. This only lasts 4 days, bro. Only over the last 4 days, I've increased my growth rate on Twitter. We need to be able to reach out to these communities, and pull these people into what we're working on in order to increase adoption of things that we're working on. You know what I mean? And so I have actually tested this and actually increased my growth rate on Twitter by reaching out to these other communities than I was by just focusing on Hex, just focusing on Pulse, and just focusing on
Well, Sam, we're in a weird position. Like, again, if I always tell people if I had $150 million in Hex, I might be a little more straddled to covering it all day. But I don't. I'm just a guy. Like, what are you going to do? Everyone knows the reality of the situation. We're all here for money, right? So far, I have found nothing that even comes close to what RH has created in my mind. I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm saying in my mind, immutable code, transparency, funding the bill, not being a sellout pig. People think he's a pig, but he ain't a sellout. I promise you. He tried to sell him out. He won't do it. So, this is the best place that I've found. But in general, like if I have to make a channel that's going to prosper and in order to make Hex more efficient in general. Like that's just obvious. Like obviously you want these things to be bigger, better. And there's a certain way to do that. And studying all the other cryptos and talking to those communities is a part of that.
Because if you're trying, just for simple, like Bullish is saying something similar in the comments, right? Bullish is saying what he's been saying. Okay, literally did the test for the last 4 days, maybe 5 days. I've been testing on Twitter. My account has increased its growth rate in terms of followers. Okay, cool. You're like, it seems like an intelligent idea. Tested it on Twitter. Seems like it's working. Now, from a very simple standpoint, if you go to China and you go to some rural part of China and they're speaking Mandarin, how do you communicate with them? You can't. You don't speak their language. Getting in to these other communities, that's an extreme example, but it holds true. Getting into these other communities to understand some of the nuances within them allows you to speak their language. When you need to communicate with somebody, you have to understand how they think, what's going on in their mind. So by doing this, for me, is helpful to bring in more people, because then I get to speak their languages. Maybe this coming week I can do a deep dive in each one of these projects, even if it's just like a 20-minute segment.
That's what you should be doing is your videos. I mean, end of story. Like you're because the people will watch those for the end of the time anyway, and it's just so easy because you think about all the people that wish they could go back and do an original video on all those things, and you just started, so you could do an original video on all those things. So it's like that's. And you like to do that. So it's like a triple, double, quadruple whammy.
And you'll be able to follow up 6 months later, a year later.
And your channel will go nuts.
Because I was literally thinking about this morning, because I was like, I can, if I create more of a how I'm doing the videos on my channel a little bit differently, I can also bring that into here to add another dimension to Crypto in the Morning. Like
well, you know me, I'm loyal to my peoples, but that's not good for YouTube. And period. It's not. I'm just like, I got caught up in the Hexagon shit, and they got me from the balls. And but you bring a different perspective because you did not get sucked in the same way I did. You did not experience the same thing I did. It was different timing, different time in the markets. You didn't. So we're bringing in perspective. Really, it's like, this is what you're learning about. This is what you want to learn about. Obviously, we want to tend to the people at the show, but like, this is the stuff that someone who's very smart and curious about crypto is getting into. This is what you want to be learning about. This is the alpha. Sam does not quit. He keeps reading everything.
And the point where I think it can bring a tremendous amount of value is, people who in this community, when something like Paul's Doge comes out, they'll just talk shit about it without actually having any understanding of it.
Yeah.
Right. And by going through and understanding other things that are happening in crypto, like you just mentioned, you get perspective and you be like, oh, wow, this is way better right over here than it is over there, right? Because you got that perspective, but instead of just talking shit about them, let's go see if that what's going on over there, but gives us that perspective, but also able to pull in some of that audience over there. I don't know, it'll be interesting, continue to evolve. This is interesting. Let's also get an idea of the evolution of stable coins, because we've talked about them many times here. And I found this morning, and I figured it's short, sweet, to the point.
What did they say? Ad nauseum?
What?
We brought up stable coins ad nauseum. Isn't that what people say?
What does nauseum mean?
What is that word, guys? Anyone in the chat? Any spelling bee peoples in the chat? Ad nauseum, because I want to use that in my arsenal. And I know I used it right, but I got to know exactly what the word is, so someone couldn't call me out for it.
All right, so that's me. I'm gonna pull up the Webster Dictionary. Ad nauseum. A sickening or excessive degree. That would be perfect.
Yeah, me and Sam tend to do things ad nauseum. What is it?
Great use there. Great use.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hey, biceps for Gym Rats vocab. Changing the game.
We also have to recognize that going too far down the rabbit hole of using vernacular or using like big words. I just stopped myself from there. Using big words, you tend to lose some people through that process. So sometimes like keeping it the simplest as possible is also another valuable thing. But I do appreciate, like, I just learned something about ad nauseum. So perfect. You want to read first a little bit of this?
Yeah. So top stable coins by market cap, a comprehensive analysis. Let's see how comprehensive it is. I'm not saying that we won't learn, but I would like to see what crypto.com has right now. Sam and other people, I know other people that love the research they do because they got big money. And at least they have big money, right? Maybe in some way, shape, or form, they're being honest. But you have to remember, guys, Me and Sam read research papers all the time, and what do they always do? Tend towards whatever they want. So they bend, like a lot of the pharmacology research bends to like what they low key want, when in reality it could be more open-minded. I think maybe I'm wrong there, but like, so let me read here. Top stablecoins by market cap, a comprehensive analysis. As of May, nearly 100 stablecoins have been launched. Their total market capitalization surpassed 180 billion USTs before USTs collapsed. I didn't know it would add that.
I know, right?
Like boom, elbow to the face. Stable coins, as the name implies, are a classic. Hold on one second. I'm going to pull us up to the side. Are a class of cryptocurrencies whose ultimate goal is to be price stable with different mechanisms to maintain stability. Different mechanism, guys. That's when we're going to. So like when they say different mechanisms, just because I know people would want to know this, there's different ways stable coins work, guys. They don't all work the same. There's 4 different ways. We're going to go into all of them right now. This is important information, and you're not going to have time to learn this stuff. So pay attention so you know a little bit of it at least. We have fiat-backed, commodity-backed, crypto-backed, and our favorite here at Crypto in the Morning, the algorithmic stablecoin. In this report, we analyze several prominent players in the stablecoin space, including USDT, USDC, UST, BUSD, etc., providing an overview of their market cap, market dominance, NVT ratio, volatility.
Hold on 1 second. 2 questions here. What is, and I don't know if you know this or the chat knows this, what is BUSD? And also
Probably
what
Binance.
is
Binance.
Okay, thank you. What is NVT ratio? Anybody in the chat help us out real quick? Help me out. I don't know what NVT ratio is. So, but let me know in the chat. Volatility.
Network to value.
What does that mean? Is there a definition you can read real quick?
Network value transaction is the indicator that describes the relationship between the transfer volume and the market cap.
So basically, it's like how many. I think that would come out on the data side. If you were pointing, it would like total value locked, like USD value locked, like it would, whatever ratio that is, right? Like it's just probably just like the growth or the strength ratio kind of.
So essentially, the NVT is calculated by dividing network value by the daily transaction volume.
Okay, so it's volume into network or vice versa, network into volume or whatever it is. Okay, cool.
Right.
Thank you for bringing that up. You never, when you're reading though, just remember, guys, he was correct to stop there. None of us knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either. And so you guys know, I didn't know. I just Googled it real quick.
Yep.
Looked it up and, just shared it back.
And that's how
nothing wrong with asking the questions that other people think are stupid. It's valuable to everybody. Just that not everybody is like they're scared or they don't want to ask the question or whatever. Just ask the question.
Well, we have huge biceps, 6-pack abs, so we can ask any questions and we just get away with it.
There we go.
Okay. So social media followers to demonstrate trends in the history in the period of UST's collapse in May. We also delve into some potential risk and common criticisms for the major stablecoins together with the industry's efforts to improve. Here are a few key findings. Fiat-backed stablecoins are one of the most widely used stablecoins. However, Tether faced questions about what its USDT coin is backed by, with criticisms of too much short-term corporate debt in the reserves. To resolve the ongoing concern, Tether recently claimed to reduce corporate debt by 44% quarter 3 2021 to 17% by April 2022, and increase holdings in the U.S. Treasury to 13%. So basically, it seems like they have some sort of plan. But at the end of the day, Tether is used in Asia, that's all they use. So
they're backing us by debt then. To resolve ongoing concerns, Tether recently claimed to reduce corporate debt from 44%.
Well, I don't know if it's maybe the company has debt. Who knows?
So what, this is the thing. As I go through, I think I might start doing this on a weekly basis, like 3 or 4 times a week, and do a deep dive on the top 100 tokens just to get a better understanding. Because we're like, hey, Tether, this thing, is it debt backed? How does it work? What's the mechanism?
Well, the thing about Tether, I feel like they're all the same though, Sam. It's it's like once you're tied up in so many different pockets on the internet, it's like there's ways that you could trade stable coins. You could trade them. Oh, we did Curve live. There's arbitrage opportunities here. There's people with millions and billions of dollars. We're talking about people that probably just F with stable coins only too. So I just don't see it going anywhere, because if you look up the volume of Tether and look at where look up the volume of Tether and like the users and let me know where it's going.
Well, but as of 26 days ago, we could have said the same thing about UST.
I don't think so. They're a little bit different.
But we looked at the
Terra
chart.
Luna is like a little bridge to like fucking. I don't know.
But we looked before they were collapsing. You're like, hey, Terra and Luna, that's a very interesting project, right? You're talking about it, yes. and that thing just collapsed like 2 days after we had those guys on the show. And if you looked at the Luna chart,
to those guys,
the Luna chart was like this.
Support you. We're supporting you. I hope you're okay.
Yes. So there's commodities backed stable coins. Pax Gold was found to have an inconsistency. Oh, that's so weird. An inconsistency in crypto? What? Between the amount of gold backing Pax and the number of PAXG issued in 2020.
So stupid.
To improve Pax, implemented an online lookup and partnered with Chainlink. Also, Chainlink would be a very interesting topic to do a video on. I've been hearing Chainlink.
I agree.
Let me write that down. Go ahead and keep reading. I'm gonna write this down real quick.
I agree with this, with the ensuring. Okay, crypto backed stablecoin DAI, previously known as SAI, single collateral. This is the one I need to learn more about, to be honest. Was launched in December 2017. Shortly after its release, it depegged below 72 cents on 12 January 2018. That means it fell off of its dollar peg. That means very bad. DAI made enhancements starting November 2019 by updating single collateral DAI, ETH only, to multiple collateral DAI. So that basically means that they had more variable and probably it's just a little more flexibility within the system to reduce.
I'll touch on that real quick.
Yep.
So if you and this is my understanding of my previous world based on the verbiage that they're using, they would be like, okay, we're going to issue a stable coin called DAI. We're going to use Ethereum as the backing for this stable coin. And then it depegged, right? And then they made some changes to this. And they're like, okay, cool. We're not going to just use Ethereum to back this. We're going to use several other ones. Maybe they use wrapped BTC and 14 other tokens. So this way, the portfolio of things that is backing up the value of DAI, that portfolio of things is not just one thing. So if Ethereum does something really stupid or gets super volatile, then you're going to have that effect on DAI. But by adding other things into that portfolio of collateral, then it changes. Like I think this would be cool if Liquid Loans added something where you could add hex to your collateral, right? And you could put your hex in there and borrow against hex, or do the same thing with Pulse Hex, right? Having multiple of these pieces, and they're kind of like fiat. But sorry, go ahead and you can finish this.
So reduce the risk of volatility of a single crypto asset. Moreover, DAI is trying to maintain stability through over-collateralized assets in its position. Algorithmic stable coins, guys, this is the bread and butter. Why? Because we talk about liquid loans constantly here at Crypto in the Morning. Let's cut to the chase here. Algorithmic stable coins have been sketchy to say the least, but a lot of people use on Ethereum network. So USDT. So a lot of people use it, and Jesse uses it, and Jesse likes it. And I haven't learned enough to have but that's the model, right? So let's look at that would be Liquidity. Algorithmic stablecoins suffer from loss of confidence and peg breaks that's the worst sentence ever. Algorithmic stablecoins suffer from loss of confidence and peg breaks as they are usually non-asset backed. A detailed analysis of depegging in Terra Luna's UST and Neutrino USD, USDN, never heard of that, is introduced by a Crypto.com depegged event in fiat and crypto. Frax presents a novel solution, fractal algorithmic, partially backed by collateral and partially stabilized algorithmically. It currently maintains a peg of US $1 by being partially collateralized by USDC, alongside with periodically buying and selling FXS, Frax Shares Governance Token. That sounds so stupid. That sounds dumb. That's where they're selling. They got to be selling something there.
Well, the idea behind this is probably to reduce volatility, reduce risk.
By buying Frax Share Governance Token?
No.
Would you rather have USDC or Frax Share Governance Token?
No, so you know how DAI is backed up by several things, right?
Yes.
It's backed up not just by ETH.
And that's why people kind of like it, right?
Kind of, so to speak. So instead of having it just backed up by multiple things, a different way of thinking about it is they're going to have it backed up by collateral, but also have it algorithmically stabilized. So think of like a hybrid between, the collateral backed ones and a, algorithmically stabilized ones from my understanding of this. That I don't know that this one right here, I just clicked on this link here too to pull this up because that might be an interesting.
Yeah, what does that say? Look at it real quick.
So this is kind of interesting. Let me zoom out so we get to see the whole thing here.
All right, so we got a little chart here. So the pros and cons and examples, and me and Sam are going to talk through this because it's probably dumb it down a little bit for us too. So we got fiat backed, relatively stable price, guys. I guess cons: centralized, low transparency. When we're talking about fiat backed, we're just talking about banks, right, Sam?
Basically, in the crypto world, we're talking about USDC. I think Tether, right? What is another stable coin that's centralized?
USDC, Tether, and DAI.
But DAI is
yes, maybe. I don't know. There's a bunch of different chains, but we don't know all of them. So it's relatively stable price, centralized. That's the biggest problem, guys. Biggest problem with fiat backed is that centralized portion. That's why all the freedom fighters don't like it. Okay, we're done with that. Commodity backed, safe against crypto volatility, centralized, needs to trust metal reserves. That's redonkulous. Why would you trust metal reserves? I don't even know what that is, but it sounds the dumbest thing. It's probably a sticker on a freaking post-it note that says there's this much gold here. Hey, where's that gold going? Who's grabbing that gold? Who are you going to run away to China with that gold? What if there's a war? How are you going to get that gold? That's not gold. Metal reserves? What metal reserves? And Sam, you're in the finance industry. Tell me what is these metal reserves?
So if they're if you own gold, right? We're talking about actual gold, not just the representation on paper of gold, right? So if you actually own gold, you have to pay for it to be stored somewhere. So you're going to pay a storage fee and then probably a monthly, inventory type fee for the company to hold your gold and keep it secure. And that would be the reserve that they are talking about. So this is like the idea of the US dollar pre 1976, right? The US dollar was backed by gold. So they're like, hey, instead of doing the dollar, let's take a cryptocurrency and back it by gold. Interesting idea. Might also be another idea to look into a little bit more. I don't know.
All I know about gold is it's just 12 inches of middleman down your throat. Let's be honest. It is. How much money are you going to spend before you get what you want?
Yes,
how much time? How many fees? How many people get to touch your stuff that you don't even own that's not even real?
Yes.
It's stupid, Sam. You know that. It's so dumb, Sam. Everyone knows it. Gold is gold is the dumbest asset any human in this world could buy, period. What does it do? Nothing. How much is it? Who cares? It's stupid.
You can't do anything. I never got the commodity. I mean, so if you look at portfolio theory,
I'd rather have TRT than gold. Bottles of TRT.
But TRT was mentioning money has not been backed by gold since the 70s. It's literally an IOU, like Dumb and Dumber.
40 years done at 2x.
So gold as an investment, right? Or precious metals, as some people like to call it. The best thing that has going for it, in my opinion, is that it is not as highly correlated with equities. So if somebody has a portfolio and you're running like a hedge fund or mutual fund or something like that, and you add something that is not correlated with your portfolio, like in the example, Hex not really being correlated heavily with BTC or ETH, and you add that to your portfolio of ETH and BTC, the overall risk as measured by the standard deviation of the portfolio, basically the price fluctuations.
Yeah, but with inflation, Sam, why not just USDC?
Say that first part again.
I'd rather have the dollar than gold.
Oh yeah. Well, no. Like that's the best argument that the gold has.
No, yeah, that is the best argument. No,
I don't hold any.
That's the only argument.
Yeah, I don't see.
Other than like if someone comes in your house, you could like beat them with it if it's big enough bar, but like, and if there was World War, it'd be nice to have like some gold bars, I guess, in your reserve of like runaway gear, maybe. Like people.
So if we go into apocalyptic time, I'd rather have guns.
I'd rather have Bitcoin and like a dugout.
Yeah, but I'd rather have both. Like instead of having the gold, like I would rather have like a something off the grid, and I just have like all sorts of guns and weapons and all sorts of shit over there. Like, come at me, bro. Like I will destroy the F.
All right, so let's go crypto back now. So crypto backed stablecoin, transparency, no external custody. We like that here at Crypto in the Morning, and a lot of the freedom fighters like that aspect. So that's a good pro. Let's go to the cons. Less stable, needs to monitor collateral. Need to monitor collateral. Sam, talk about that. If you don't
when you have things that are crypto backed like DAI, you have the thing that's beneath it that is extremely volatile, say versus USDC, right? If you have circulating crypto USDC of $1 billion and you have $1 billion of cash sitting in the bank account, right? You're like, okay, cool, it's backed up one for one. But when you have DAI that is backed by cryptocurrency, and then you see an 80% drop in cryptocurrency over the course of 8 months, that creates fluctuations because the collateral is volatile. The collateral is moving around. So that's why they're not as stable. That's why DAI is over collateralized. So instead of having $1 billion worth of USDC in the crypto market and then $1 billion of cash to back it up, which you can do with crypto, it has to be, say, $2 billion worth of crypto backed up by $1 billion worth of DAI. So that because the volatility is so extreme, in order to hold the peg, otherwise you're going to have a lot more issues with it or whatever.
And how does the up and down on that work? Just people providing liquidity?
In terms of the up and down on DAI?
Yeah.
So, well, it would be just like anything. If somebody's like, hey, I've got, $1 million worth of DAI and I'm going to dump it.
Just dry up liquidity.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, 100%.
So examples, DAI, MEM, etc. Okay, so let's move on. And we can add liquid loans, USDL, to the examples here because we know that's coming up and we're excited about that. So pros, no collateral, transparent, algorithm. Not really going to say that exists exactly yet. No collateral, transparent.
Well, I think what they mean, and please, if somebody else has a better understanding or if you have different thoughts on this, let me know. But I think what they mean by a pro is no collateral, as in the entity that is the stablecoin doesn't have collateral. Like liquid loans in the example we were just talking about doesn't own the collateral. If somebody wants to use liquid loans or if they want to use liquidity, right? I put in $10,000 and I take a loan against that. But it's like DAI holds all the collateral. In liquid loans doesn't hold any collateral. They have the smart contract, which holds your collateral, but they don't own the collateral, I think is what they mean by that. So
that makes sense.
Whoops. Whoa.
So
Cons.
loss of
confidence.
confidence in peg mechanism. Yeah, I guess that's what we were just kind of mentioning. Like guys like me are just like, that doesn't work yet.
Yeah, literally 10
I'm just
seconds.
like, that's scary. Please don't. I don't want to counterparty risk or anything. Please. It's just like it's like a digital counterparty risk. It's like I don't know if the coders worked it right. So is there anything? There's more on this, I believe. On this, yeah, I want to see what this is all about. So market capitalization share in stable coins, except main players. The other merely occupy the 3.8%. Terra USD share declined a lot after the depeg on 10 May 2022. They love to mention that. Okay, so this one's before UST crash, and we'll do after UST crash because we're all basically after that at this point. So USDT 46.1%. Very interesting tether. Sam, I'm telling you, if you look up, that's why I was saying, like, if you guys really think tether could go to zero, then have good luck in World War VII because you're dead.
Because that's 50% of
it's like a $500 billion. So, or whatever, like, you know,
yeah,
in the bull market, maybe. So let's see. That's why people, it's not so much the same. People really want to say, like, oh, this could go to zero. Oh, that could go to zero. But in my mind, I don't know this for certain, but in my mind, when there's so much volume, it's like I look at the volume. There's so many people using it. There's so many rich people using it that will never allow something like that to occur. And it kind of almost stabilizes it through consensus. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. No, it is 100%. I'm looking at that chart, and I wanted to, because the nerd in me wants to like look at the search volume on Google Trends for USDC and USDT to see if there's any like difference in search volume. And there's a massive F.
Oh yeah, go to that. I want to see that.
Like this is pretty crazy. This is pretty crazy. So what I did is
I also want you to know where the UST is used too. So I kind of want to like
that was why I pulled it up, because I wanted to see what part of the world it was used in. So guys, if you're not sure,
super important.
USD, the Google Trends. So that's this site here. Google Trends tracks search volume. So it says web search. It should just say Google search across the entire internet of wherever Google is being used. And Google's the largest search engine in the planet, something like 1 billion searches a day, as well as YouTube search, the second largest. So I put in USDC and USDT as the terms over the last 12 months worldwide, and it's not even close. Look at this. USDT is in red. It is just miles ahead of USDC.
Scroll down a little bit. Jesus Lord. Right. So what I want to look at is, hold on, let me see the rate.
Well, I think here. Okay, look at this.
Does it tell you per place, like the percentage that?
Yes. So look at this.
I want to look at Asia in like versus basically.
You don't see this. You can't see this when it pops up, can you?
I can. Yeah.
Well, no, it shows me the chart for the United States. I don't think you guys can see the data because it's like a pop out.
It says USDC 47%, USDT 53%, and that's in the United States.
So now for Chai,
92% in China, guys. 92% USDT. What the flippers, guys? If that shit goes to zero, it's gonna be Goblin Town for 10 years. Literally, what? It's like China's gonna nuke everyone.
Wow.
But
wow, I didn't know how dominant USDT was. Here in the United States, we use USDC because I think conceptually, United States dollar coin, or that's like what comes up in my mind if somebody was like, "What does that stand for?" But USDT doesn't have that same ring.
I don't know.
To me.
The United States is always going to be lots of variable compared to other places too. You know, that's crazy. Though 92% in China. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah, no, I that's why I was actually pulling this up, because I thought that was interesting to take a look at the data to see what USD. If we looked at that chart before this one,
look at Singapore too. Wow.
Here we see USDT, and USDT is not something that I ever have used or owned, and I don't know much about it. and I've only used USDC, right? And so I was like, huh, that's interesting. I own something that is the second most utilized stable coin in the world, and I know nothing about USDT. Maybe I should check and see if it's something, because I'm living in this microcosm that is the United States. Maybe it's just because I'm in the United States. And when we look at the data, that is exactly the case, because in the US, people use USDC far, far more than you use USDT. So
Do you think it has something to do with like education too? Maybe like, maybe not, but like, I don't trust Tether because I know it's like the Ponzi of all Ponzi's, right?
That's what.
Yeah, I mean, we
T-Bird.
were just chatting in there, and it's just like I don't trust it because I just know it's not backed by anything. But at the end of the day, I know I'd get my money out probably unless it crashed again, which we just saw. So it's like risk profile. It's just like a little bit of risk profile. You know what I mean?
But that's also probably what a lot of people in Luna or UST thought too. I mean, if shit really hits the fan, what was that?
Well, once they did that back Bitcoin stuff in a bear market, you know, my eyes were kind of like, that's when I started learning about it. I didn't know if it would go to zero, but I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this makes no sense. But you don't know. Like, I was just like, maybe it's the best thing to do.
Look, the risk factor of the fiat backed ones, right? The Tether, right, is the centralized thing. And what you just mentioned, they had Luna was basically just a centralized thing, right? Luna was centralized in the sense, yes, it's algorithmic, but it is also super centralized, because you have one, as you mentioned, there was a teeny little bridge. There was a teeny little bridge on Luna and UST to get your money out. And what happened? I used to live in Hawaii, and I lived on a part of the island which was one road in and one road out. And there's probably, I don't know, 50,000 people over there, or whatever the number came out to be. There was around 1 million on Oahu, right? The population of Oahu is around 1 million. The area I lived in was probably 50,000. There was one road in and out. At one point, there was a car accident, and people sat in their cars for 5 hours just on the road. They couldn't get through.
My biggest nightmare, dude. Like, that's why I try not to drive ever.
But that's what happened with Luna.
Oh yeah, there was no
the bridge. That bridge was that road for me in Hawaii. You couldn't get out.
Same thing happens on Coinbase. Same things happen on everything when the volume gets too high. But it's just about the volume getting too high. So once people start moving all their shit, it's all at the same time. It's not meant for that. That's what the problem is. The problem is that people go run to the door and then it's over, because it's like, it doesn't matter left, right, or center. People want their money out. People wanted their money out of Luna. They didn't care if they got it at 50% because they thought they weren't going to get any of it. And then everyone lost all their ass, and they got collateral. I mean, they got liquidated and destroyed because they leverage on stupid, like crazy third-party fucking websites. Anchor protocol.
If you guys like the way that we have been structuring things today, you'll probably really enjoy tomorrow's show, which is going to be on at 11 EST. So make sure you press the bell notification. If you're watching on GRC's channel or my channel, first of all, press the subscribe button. Right next to the subscribe button, there's a little bell icon. So you press the little bell icon,
yes,
and you just say, get notified for all future videos. So that way tomorrow when we go live at 11, we're also going to be covering, for at least a short segment, Cult tomorrow. And to just learn about
like a 3-segment thing, like most shows. So it means we won't be unless something's crazy is going on. We won't be overemphasizing everything, but we will be emphasizing it while we're talking about it, just like we did today. I think the stablecoin conversation was really, really good today, guys. If you like this stuff, if you like this content, if you like this value every single day, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit all the links in the description. I have a donation link in the description if you want to donate and support to the channel. Guys, I'm here every single day at 11 a.m. covering the absolute nuts and bolts, most important things, in my opinion, in crypto: stable coins, stability, politics, macro environment. We get into the actual weeds here. I'm not going to go flicking around on a bunch of meme coin pages because you can flip a buck by farming some goats on digital land. Like, and that's what you'll see the other accounts doing. Why? because they're going to start getting paid by those people. And I don't like that because it's not, we have to be safe. Safety, risk profile. We're here. This is a man and woman show, but like this is about being better, right? We want to be better, not worse. What do you think is better? Farming goats digitally while you're wasting your shit, or learning about stable coins and like the relationship to the banks? Like, let's get serious, guys, because this topic is very serious. Yeah, we bring up Pulse Dogecoin. Yeah, Gunther comes on here and flexes. It's fine. It's great. It's all fun. But at the end of the day, we're here to educate ourselves and to educate the users, guys. Easy on the goats, bro. Oh, shoot. Look, Pulse Goat. He's like, easy on the goats, bro. Hey, Fashion Coder just popping in quickly. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday.
I hope you enjoy the time with your family there, Fashion Coder.
We should have you on next time you're available, Fashion Coder. We have
a question for you and anybody else in the comments, and just to highlight the free money thing, because it's literally what I did this morning, and I wanted to bring it up because a lot of people don't, and I wanted to mention this. There's so much free money happening in crypto.
Yeah.
Right. I'm brand new to crypto, and I've already gotten 2 things of free crypto just by owning crypto. Right. So Hex, I have Hex, and then Hedron comes out, and then I get my free Hedron. And then today, I literally, before the show went on, we're on GRC, and I was like, hey, I'm doing that thing. What's the site to go to? And as we're like prepping for the show, and I just claimed my free Pulse Doge, which is the meme coin for Pulse Chain. Just got it free. That's like, there's free money out there, guys. There's all sorts of this stuff happening all of the time. It's insane. It is absolutely crazy what is going on right now. And this is going to be such a cool, interesting time. Jump down below for my Twitter as well. Say what's good over there. Appreciate you.
Yeah, we're both on Twitter like a lot. We actually really enjoy interacting on Twitter. Also on Instagram, we really interact, enjoying. All our links are below, guys. You have a wonderful day. It's Saturday. It's nice here on the East Coast. Get outside and get some sun. Call your mom. Call your family. Have a good day. Be nice to people. Smile when they walk by you and say hello, guys. 2 minutes and 2 more seconds of RH absolutely bumping.
Young folks, you tripping on them motherfucker.
Richard Hart. Richard Hart.
Bought my Hex from the fucking start. .1 every day we mark. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the Hex, he is mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pro chains out, gonna get me a check. He's gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Hart.